Hello, my name is Jimena Abraham del Rio, and I'm going to talk about applied linguistics, characteristics, and methods. First, we need to understand what is applied linguistics, okay? It is a subdiscipline of linguistics which applies linguistic theories to improve the practical command of a language. This term dates back at least to the 1940s in the USA, when linguistics applied analytical methods to the practical problems of producing grammars and phrase books and developing language courses for the military. In the recent years, applied linguistics is considered as a means to solve the specific problems of society. Applied linguistics includes language problems for a specific areas such as aviation, language disorders, law, medicine, science, teaching, among others. I found these characteristics and I'm focused in teaching, applied linguistics in teaching, okay? Many applied linguistics are interested in language problems related to use, teaching, and learning. Applied linguistics use what we know about language, how it is learned, and how it is used. Based on this information, language problems in the world are being solved. Applied linguistics in teaching focuses on the theory of second language acquisition, language pedagogy, and the relationship of these two. It also answers questions such as how can we better teach the language? Are there individual differences when we learn a language? How does a society influence the learning of a language? And other questions. Other characteristics that I found is the concept of application. That means it is a theoretical practical capacity, and the theoretical activity like diagnosis, analysis, and action strategies is combined with a practical activity that use of means, techniques, and data collection. Also, I found the concept of intersection that is developed in areas where there are communication problems. I found these methods focuses on the education of the learning of a second language. The first is the traditional. This method has been the most used and it is objective is the knowledge of words and grammatical rules of the language to be learned, making the student understand sentences and how to construct them and know the culture and literature of foreign language. When I started to learn English, I remember that my teachers always told me about the importance to know the grammatical rules, even if we don't understand how to use it when we communicate. And I think this is a problem of this method, but well, is my point of view, okay? The other method is the direct, also known as the natural or inductive method. In this, a second language is thought similar to the process of acquiring the mother tongue. Audiolingual. It is based on a series of approaches from linguistic and psychological research on learning. It is an approach that gives importance to the interaction of the environment and thus learning and language. Audiovisual. It has the same origin as the audiolingual, but in this method emphasis is placed on the visual elements. The communicated situation must be understood globally before studying the linguistic structure. Communicative. This method is to improve the communication because in the other that I mentioned, they don't. I told you yet that we know the structural and how to write sentences, but the problem is that we are not able to communicate with other people. So this is a problem. And this method is improve the communication through activities, text, dialogues, and barrier exercise. Since a natural form of language is exposed and gives importance to grammatical, lexical, and phonological aspects. I found this alternative method that is in use in Germany, and for me it's interesting because for example the first super learning in this method is attempt through audios, translations, mimics, etc. to activate the two halves of the brain in the learning process. Other method is the community language learning. This is focused in adults who learn in small groups in which environments of trust and understanding are created. And this method is based on group work and encouraging cooperation and non competition, as well as fostering personal initiative and student responsibility for their own learning. Total physical response, it is known as the comprehensive or understanding approach. It is based on observation of the child's behavior in acquisition of the mother tongue. In this method, physical actions are worked and accompanied by others without the need to memorize or understand the words in their entirety. And the silent wait, this method is characteristic by the silence of the teacher throughout the learning process. The function of this organization and direction of the process only by gestures, written material, symbolic colors, and playful objects. I remember when I was looking for the TKT book, I saw the total physical response. I think this method is used in many schools and it's interesting. And that's all for this video. Thank you.